Hey guys, so how's quarantine going for you? I was looking back this morning and I think that we kind of started this whole thing around March 16th. Does that sound right to you guys? So if that's the case, we're 25 days into all being in our homes, a lot more than we have been in the past. So how does that make you feel about your home? Are there things you've discovered about your home that you really like or things that you've decided that you don't like? Like, are you thinking I need to do a remodel? Be honest with me, because that's kind of what I'm here for. I feel like that a lot of people are going to come out the other side of this thinking there's some things I need to change about my home, and I want to be a resource for those people. I want to help other homeowners be able to confidently remodel their homes. So every Thursday night I'm going to be bringing you information that will hopefully get you where you need to be on your home journey. The first thing I want to talk about tonight is I've got 3 homeowners who sent me questions on Facebook about what it would cost to do an addition and a bathroom and a kitchen remodel. So I'm going to talk about that really quickly, and then I'm going to talk about what it's like to remodel with your spouse or significant other or whoever it is in your life, whoever you live with. If you're going to tackle a remodel, you have to get along with that person. And lucky for you, I am one of the world's foremost experts in this category because I have been working on home remodel projects with my husband for 28 years now. And we got so good at it that we just decided to do it for a living. So we've been building homes and remodeling homes for people for over 20 years, doing it with each other, and we've managed to make it work, and I know you can too. But there are some things that you need to think about, and I'm going to lay all that out for you. Okay, my first viewer question is from Drain, and Drain would like to know what it's going to cost to add an 18 by 24 addition onto his home. He said it was a bedroom, and I don't believe he wanted a bathroom priced in for it, so I'm just pricing a room. I did make some assumptions about it. I assumed that it would be on a crawl space foundation. I assumed that he would be able to use his existing HVAC system to heat and cool the space. I assumed the exterior of it would be not vinyl, hardy siding, the fiber cement siding. I assumed it would have 4 windows in it. I assumed that it's on the first floor of a house, and that it would have a roof over it, that it would not be a 2-story addition. That's what I'm trying to say, that it would not be a 2-story addition. And I'm also assuming that you're on a city sewer so that you won't have to do anything to enlarge your septic system. So those are some of the assumptions that I've made. And based on those assumptions, if you were to add a room that size onto your home, it should be somewhere in the neighborhood of $55,000 to $60,000. I hope you found that helpful, Drain. And if you would like for Sanctuary Homes to help you with that addition, you know where we are. Thank you. The second question comes from Jamie. Jamie wants to know the cost to remodel a really small bathroom. She said it had a stand-up shower in it, and I think from that, I take that to mean that it was just like a 3x3 or a corner shower. And typically those have like a really small 24 or 30-inch vanity in them in the toilet. So I said for her to completely gut and replace everything in that bathroom. It should be around $7,000. You might get that up to $8,000 or $9,000 if you went really high end with the finishes, but I'm pretty confident that you could get all that work done on a bathroom that's that small for $7,000. And then my last question came from Chastity. And Chastity wants to know about a kitchen remodel. She didn't tell me anything about it or the size or anything, but I am going to say that I'm pretty safe in saying that if you're going to take all the cabinets out of your kitchen, maybe reconfigure it, get all new cabinets, new countertops, and all that, that you're going to be starting somewhere in the neighborhood of $30,000 to $35,000. That's typical for an average size, small to average size kitchen, just to give you a rule of thumb. So if you have any questions about a remodel, be sure and DM me or go to my website, sanctuaryhomes.net, and send me a contact. Okay, it is time for me to dive into my segment on working on a remodel with your spouse. Remodels do not always bring out the best in people. I'm not sure why that is, and it kind of breaks my heart because I love a good remodel better than anything. But that being said, there are some things that now that Tony and I are where we are now, 28 years down the road of doing these things together, that we can look back and we can say, we are successful at doing this as a husband and wife team because of this, this, and this. So I'm going to go through those things with you. And hopefully having this knowledge up front will fast track you guys so that you can do this together better, faster. Okay, the first thing that I want to talk about is dividing up the tasks based on skill set. So some of the skills that we think are really important is being able to communicate clearly, being good at organizing, being good at personal finances, and being good at styling something. So based on those, we divided things up. So between you and your spouse, when you're looking at this, whoever is the best at communicating needs to be the person that's talking to the subcontractors, telling them what you want, what you expect, and when you want them there. Whoever's best at organizing probably should be the person that is running the schedule and ordering things. The person that's best at finances should be the person that's bidding it and keeping up with the estimates and so forth. The person that's best at style should be the one to pick out the paint and to pick out the tile and pull all that together. Now, here's what I want to say about that. There may be some of those skills that neither one of you have, and that's fine. We can work with that. You just have to realize it. So if neither one of you is good at styling, you can't pick out decent paint colors, it's just not all going to look good when it's pulled together, it's gold that you know that up front. Because what it does is it gives you the opportunity to hire an interior designer to pick out those things for you so that you can move forward in your job. It will look good when you're done, and you don't waste a bunch of money picking out stuff that doesn't look good together. So that is very critical, being able to know what you're good at and what you're not. I mean, if both of you are kind of disasters where money's concerned, then maybe you need to hire a bookkeeper to kind of help you with that portion of it, because keeping your cost under control is really important when you're working on a remodel. So just think about your skills, who's best at what, and divide the skills up appropriately. The second thing that I want to talk to you about is trust. So once you've gone through dividing out the task based on skill, then you've got to step back and trust that person to handle what they've been assigned. So if your significant other is really good at communicating, then now at this point you have to trust them to do it. You have to trust them to communicate. If you have been the person that has decided you're the best at organizing, so you're going to keep up with all of the selections and the specifications, and it's your job to be trustworthy and keep up with all that and to keep it on point and to feed that information to your significant other, who is going to be communicating it then to the subcontractor. You see how that works? So you have to trust them to do their part. They have to trust you, but then you each have to be trustworthy. You have to deserve that trust. It's a really big thing in this business, because otherwise you're trying to do what their part, they're trying to do your part, and then it just gets to be sloppy and it's a mess and you get mad at each other, and that's no way to try to do it. But handle what's assigned to you, do it well, and stay out of each other's lane. The next thing I want to talk about, and I think Tony and I practice this really, really well, if I do say so myself, and that is grace. Extending grace to each other. Sometimes we make mistakes. We are humans, and sometimes we mess up. And never once in all the years that we've been doing this has Tony ever made me feel bad about making a mistake. He has been very graceful about it. Also, the other part of that is on my end, If I have made a mistake, I have always owned up to it. I've always been like, I made a mistake. I need you to help me figure this out. I'm really sorry. How can we fix it and move forward? That's always the thing with the remodel. You've always just got to figure out, how do we move forward, or else it'll never get finished. But I have to really say that extending that grace to each other is a very, very good practice. And I think it's just a good practice for our everyday life. I mean, it's just being basically nice, people. You've got to do that, especially if you can't be nice to your spouse or your significant other. How can you be nice to anybody? So extend that grace with each other, especially while you're working on a remodel. The other thing I think that's really important is to have a little fun along the way. When you're working on a remodel, there's milestones that you've got to meet. I mean, it may be that you got everything demoed and the space is all cleaned up and it's ready to start going back together now. That's a milestone. I think you should celebrate it. You know, whatever that looks like to you guys. If it's letting yourself watch 2 or 3 episodes of a show, sit down and relax and watch the episodes. But take your little wins. If there's small children in your household and they're working with you a little bit on things, or even teenagers, any age, whoever's working on it with you, if y'all have been working really hard for a week on it, take Saturday morning and go do something you all like. Go kayaking, go for a hike, go see a movie, whatever that looks like for you, but take those little wins and have some fun along the way. If it gets to be drudgery, nobody's ever going to want to do another project with you. So try to keep that in mind. Okay, this last one is going to be a really super short one. It's going to be about honesty. I need you all to be really honest with yourselves. If you're thinking about doing a home remodel project and it's just the 2 of you that are going to work on it, you're going to hire some people to come in and help you with it. Is this something that you all can really do together? Because hiring a general contractor just to handle the whole thing is still a lot cheaper than a divorce. I'm just going to put that out there. It's the truth. You know, use this time, go ahead and plan the remodel. Even if you're going to hire a general contractor, you still need to do all the planning. But then when it comes down to doing the actual work where there's real pressure, if you think you and your spouse are not going to be able to get through that, then don't do it. Absolutely not. Hire somebody else to do it, even if that means you have to wait a little while to save up a little bit more money, then do that. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me this Thursday evening. Keep sending me your questions, your comments, your concerns, and hopefully I can keep giving you information that will help you have the home that you love.